just don't wanna be here right now.
Yo,
I don't know where I'm going.
I don't know where I'm going.
I just wanna be there.
I just wanna be there.
I don't know where I'm headed.
No.
I just don't wanna be here right now. Let me subside my morbid tendencies. It's getting dark. Me and anxiety, your high school lovers at the park. Sitting on the hood, looking at the stars. The feeling's thick and concentrated like the jam in mason jars. But a jam is what I want out of. I'm tired of being angry. Yo, what's up, people? Thank you for listening in and tuning in to the latest installment of this 3-part series. Me reading poems from my latest project, Resignation. So if you haven't ordered it already, you can go to lulu.com, type in my name, Calvin Wayne Pennywell Jr. You'll find Resignation. If you order the book today, you're guaranteed to have it in about 5 days. So you can get it in about a week. You get it pretty quickly. Again, I've been really enjoying the process of not just creating it, but the aftermath, the part of distributing it to the public, not to just people or strangers, but my family and my friends. They get an opportunity to see the literary translation of my transition. So I hope you enjoy it. This will be the third and last live reading of a piece from the actual chapbook. So again, if you haven't checked it out already, go to lulu.com. That's LULU.com. Type in Calvin Wayne Pennywell Jr. and there it is in black, Resignation. Again, this book was written to signify my resignation as far as deciding to resign from trying to take total control of my life. That's probably one of the worst decisions I ever made, because I automatically think that it's up to me, totally up to me, as far as manipulating something and trying to pick the consequences. It doesn't work that way. What we can control is what we do. We can't control the response. But if we do want a good response, why not commit to a good action? So this piece that I'm going to be reading is titled A Response to John Newton. The reason why I wrote this was because when I was younger, my mom, in the process of raising me, when I got to a certain age, I think maybe early 20s, maybe earlier than that, I'm not sure. My mom reminded me, she said, CJ, one day you're going to be a husband, Lord willing. One day you're going to be a father, Lord willing. But you also have to keep in mind that you are going to be a black husband and that you're going to be a black father. And whatever you're going to do, you're going to be a black mentor. You're going to be a black, possibly, teacher. You're going to be a black writer, because this is what people are going to see. And that's the reality. And we grew up in a mixture of crowds. Our friends range from various ethnic backgrounds and cultures. But we were reminded that when it comes to the world profiling us, we will be viewed as black. That is inevitable. So I actually read, I think, through the first verse of Amazing Grace. I never took the time to do that. And it sounded so promising. It sounded so hopeful. But I thought to myself during the time that I wrote it, I was like, how would this sound to a predominantly black audience when they read this? It's nice to know that John Newton came to his senses, someone that once was a slave owner, and it comes to be aware of the errors of his ways and to have this epiphany. It is encouraging and it is thoughtful, and it's an awesome thing that happened. But I was thinking of like my fellow brothers who may be incarcerated or find it very difficult to enter society, where they will always be judged by the color of their skin and not the content of their hearts. How would they view this? So I rewrote, so to speak, the first verse of Amazing Grace, and this is what I came up with. So the name of it is A Response to John Newton. Amazing race, how dark the brown that harms a man like me. I once was chained, but now I'm suspect. Was a gorilla, now a gangster. 'Twas hate that taught us how to fear, and hate our hearts returned. How prejudiced did your race appear, the horror we first received. Through many protests, vast and small, I have hardly won. 'Tis violence hath brought me this far, and violence will protect my home. The leaders had promised good to us, their spry our hearts secured. Their words my hip and hop will be, as long as art endures. Yeah, when your firearm is locked and loaded and mortal, my brothers will be. I will possess a Glock within my genes, a dangerous life not new to me. My brothers will soon dissolve like ash, our flames forbidden to flare. But music that claimed me glorious will claim me king forevermore. When we've been here for hundreds of years, fighting under the rising sun, we've lesser reasons to sing you praise than when you first spurt the whip. Yeah. I've just personally wanted to thank people who I'm just being real, my white allies or any other people that aren't of color. Thank you for speaking up for us during those moments when you did recognize prejudice, when you did recognize racism. I'm just saying this from me. If you are white and I have never met you, and we're just bumping into each other, and I'm learning about you in the first 5 minutes, and I learned that you have a good heart, you don't owe me an apology. You don't owe me an apology for being white. I'm saying that. I sure am. You don't owe me an apology. All I ask is that you approach life like I do. Try to understand with a sense of sympathy and empathy. At least try. Just try to understand. That's it. I think that goes on all fronts between men, women, black, white. Doesn't matter. Try to understand. That's all I ask. Try to understand. And within this piece, I was trying to get people to understand that something may look good and have good intentions, but it may not come off well. So not gonna stay here any longer. Hope you enjoy the book. It's a variety of pieces from beginning to end. They are actually categorized in chronological order, like from the first piece that I wrote to the very last. So again, this was a span of 10 years. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're inspired. Love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Peace.
Back to the chorus.
I don't know where I'm going.
I don't know.
I just wanna be there.
I just wanna be there.
I don't know